Greetings, fellow cassiterite hunters. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Vintage Story. Episode 9, Tin Time. Oh, I can hear the murder hobos coming to me, so let's get out of this hole. But it's really good to know that, like, I found subterranean tin. And the veins down there, like, they can have hundreds of tin. You know, there's really no end to the limit. So, you know, once you find, like, a vein or two of tin, that might be all the tin you ever really need, if you get lucky with a large one. And also depending on, like, the scope of your tools and projects and whatnot. Well, I got some onions. Let's plant them. And then I'll turn in for the night. Oh, here's another tunnel. I'll prospect this one too. So the strategy here is, like, pick a rock really far away from the other rocks, because they have to be at least 3 apart. And this is high tin too, which makes sense. I'm not that far from the original spot, which means that there's, like, a giant vein of tin or multiple veins of tin somewhere underneath me. So that means it's going to be easier to locate as a result, because it's large and well established. I like it. Getting lucky. And there are mods which will automatically mark down your prospecting. There's, like, one of the most popular mods in this game is a, like, automatic markdown for prospecting. It's just, I'm not using mods, so it's not something I'll be doing. So this spelt was an N, this flax is a K, and these potatoes are a P. So I have K, N, and P here. Probably what I'll do as much rotating as I can, but I don't suspect I'm going to find a ton of onions. I do usually struggle to find a lot of. Cultivated crops have, like, I think a 5% chance to drop extra seeds once harvested. Oh, I also live on top of a water pool. Whoa! And there goes my torch. That's why I have a backup torch, for when I'm dumb. So if your torch ever burns out, pull the backup torch out of your backpack, light the torch that you just extinguished, and then fetch your other torch and put it the hell away so you can't be in the dark, because being in the dark sucks. So yeah, there's some sort of, like, water cave down here. I'll prospect this too, because I'm, like, directly underneath my base, so I'm sort of curious what there is here. Alright, there's poor tin and titanium here. But the titanium at 0.7% is actually not that poor. I mean, that's another thing I found is, like, look at the percentages, because sometimes it will say poor, but, like, it's not bad at all. It'll say, like, poor, 2% of the area is titanium, but it's like 2% of a 32 by 32 by 128 is still an insane amount of ore, because that's what the slice is. Well, it depends on your elevation, but the maps are 256 from the top of the sky by default and down to negative levels. So, like, right now, as you can see, I am my Z is 54 or 53, but hi, drifters. Bye, drifters. There's, like, 2 rifts right here, so it's going to be spewing out drifters at me. But yeah, because it samples all the way down to the mantle, like, if I'm at, you know, I'm at 111 right now, that's a lot of potential ilmenite below me. Okay, the time in game is really early in the morning. Okay. I'll make an onion stew for myself to wake up to. I'll be hungry. With an extra turnip. A hearty onion turnip stew. I'm completely running out of food, by the way. I'm trying to influence the balls. Yeah, time of temp is in C as well. Yeah, true. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to show is, which I can't show because I just lit my fire pit, was the fact that this candle produces light, albeit a very small amount of light, but it does technically produce light on its own and forever, which is pretty sweet. I'm tired of like stumbling on this that mold, so I'm trying to put it away. Just don't want to keep tripping on it forever. Obviously, I could make more storage, but you guys didn't vote for it. All right, there we go. So that's like kind of the light level we got here. There is a mold rack that I'll build at some point, which will make it a lot easier to have a bunch of molds that are not currently in use. In fact, there's no reason for me to just like, God, it's light out already. You know what? I'm not even going to go to sleep. Stay up. Yeah, there's no good reason for me to like store my molds somewhere else. You know, I could just put them outside. They're not going to get ruined or anything. And I could pour the molds outside. There's no threat to that. Okay, we ate. And now I'm going to go for the tin. So mine the surface tin. And the hope is to get enough tin and copper to be able to produce an anvil. So I'm going to take the soil with me because I'll probably need to build a bit up to the tin. It's not going to be easy to get there. Oh, I didn't mean to light. Oh well, too late. I'm just trying to combine inventory so that I have as much space as possible. Can you place? Yeah, you can place gears. So anything I can place, I just stick on the ground. Maximum storage. All right, there we go. Oh, I don't need the hoe. In fact, I don't need the hoe at all. The game is still being developed, yes. There's a lot on the roadmap. So if you go to vintagestory.at, you can read the wiki, the roadmap, all that stuff. So tin bronze is something like 8 to 12% tin. So if I need, if I am trying to make at least 900 of it to make an anvil, total, you know, I'll need at least roughly, let's say, 100 tin from this node, which I think should be fine. But before I go up there, let's do a little prospecting. I'm in a cave, why not? Do we have to keep voting for the series for it to continue? Yes. It's a viewer's choice series. Anything I stream on Thursdays. So there's a little bit of titanium here, but it is all poor. TI, CU, and Cinnabar. Cinnabar is like a dye for clothing. It's a red dye. I'm just going to see if there's, like, any... No, there's nothing visible. There is some endgame stuff, like there is in Minecraft. I'm just not going to speak about it, because it's, like, major spoilers. And I don't really want to spoil this game for people that don't want it spoiled like that. And I should also mark down that this is, these are caves. I'm just going to poke my head in here to see if there's any, Oh, there's a dead hare. I will eat it. Probably killed by that fox. But I'll take leftovers. Some red meat and a hide. Red meat spoils rather quickly, so it's like use it or lose it. Oh god, where's my torch? And we're far enough away from the last prospect. No, I'm not going to reprospect. Never mind. Now let's go to the tin. What about the fox? Foxes will fight back, and I'm naked. Or rather, just have, like, regular cloth clothing. So the fox would not kill me, but, like, probably mess me up pretty good. It's just not worth it. To me. Some things like bunnies and chickens don't fight back, but like if they fight back and you don't have gear, oh, there's a rift there. You get pretty dead pretty quick. Like I could take a fox though. I like this stone archway. That is sweet. So I marked down that, oh yeah, there it is. So it's poor quality, which means it's not going to be high yield. But I don't need a ton of it in order to get the job done. Stop, buddy. Yeah, quality matters. All right, there seems to be some above me as well. So this is why I didn't want to just like dig for the sake of digging, in order to get the granite, because I'm inevitably going to be digging a lot of granite to get to ores. So I might as well just be digging the granite towards the ores, and it's like two birds, one stone. So I think this vein looks kind of small. There might be some extra tin hiding elsewhere. I probably will just have enough for, like, an anvil. But what I can do is I will do a prospecting chunk search. And also a... yeah, so here's some tin ore bits that actually were surface bits. So here it is in its nugget form. Plus I have these poor chunks, which I happen to bring my hammer with me. So I have 13 of the 20 for 1 ingot. And 1 ingot's worth is probably enough for an anvil. Although it might be better suited as a pick. To turn it into a pick or something. Oh yeah, there's some down here too. Sad tuba noises from fall damage. But yeah, I'll do both a prospecting and a chunk search to see if there's more. So here's what the chunk search would be. Hit F. Switch to node search, and dig around, and it will tell you if there's any tin nearby. So, verify trace amounts. Trace amounts means there's very little, but there is some. So, I'll do a little bit more digging. And that means within 6 blocks of where I did a chunk search, there is tin. It's a 6 radius, whereas the density search is a 32 radius. And the chunk search isn't infinite up and down, it's just a 6 by 6 by 6. So some of it might be I might be able to I see that stuff. So let's get all the stuff that I can visually see, and then do more of the chunk searches So I'll probably just nerd pull tower up there rather than dig myself a nice staircase, because I can just shovel this out once I'm done. There is... oh, it's right here. Okay. Yeah, it's not much. A lot of people were screaming, well, not screaming, but a lot of people were like, streamer luck! And like, this is lucky, but it's not like hitting the jackpot lucky. It wasn't a wealthy vein. So here's another node search. Trace amounts, and then there's like a lot of quartz somewhere around here as well, because there was verified medium amount of quartz. We'll keep looking around for like the last of the tin. Because trying to get... oh, here's some. Trying to get tin from the caves could really be harrowing. It could be quite dangerous and tricky, especially without, you know, without a proper metal weapon. Like, even a copper falx, which is a sword, would be better than, like, a flint spear, unless you use cheese tactics. Which I'm gonna try not to cheese it too bad. So, it's still read as trace amounts of tin around here. But not in that direction. So, maybe up? No, that's dirt. Or down? I'm gonna guess down then. I probably need copper too. You're not wrong. I just have so many surface copper nodes marked out, so it's going to be really easy for me to source the copper. And now that I have a huge amount of this exposed, I will do a density search to see if there's just a lot more copper around here in general or not. So that's one sample, 2 samples. Wow, it's not even reading that there's tin here. Minuscule amounts of ilmenite and cinnabar. Okay. So I'm just going to call it poor. Because unless I'm desperate, I'm never going to go to anywhere that has minuscule or poor anything. Because it's just not worth the effort. At least my opinion is that I would want to exploit resources that are at least decent. Because generally speaking, you're going to have to excavate an enormous amount of rock for whatever you're trying to yield. So that chunk search or node search had trace amounts, so it's down this way. Dog's chilling? Yeah, both of them. I have another one behind me here. Where are you, Tin? I'm definitely not digging out efficiently, but I'm planning on using all this granite anyway. So I'm kind of fine being inefficient in this case. So I have multiple stacks of this granite stone, which I'll turn into like path stone. I do, however, have to worry about my my food. My calories are lowering. So the other thing to do is to try to triangulate it with the node search. So I'm going to see if there's tin within 6 tiles of this rock. And if there's not... no, trace amounts. So it's like 6 up, 6 down. So then I can try to figure out if it's like below me by digging out a little bit of a staircase or digging straight down and then tapping the bottom to figure out if the tin is buried. So I'll do that next. And that bouncing rock is pretty funny. Yeah. So now that I'm looking further down, if it says that there's no verified trace amounts of... no, it says verified trace amounts. So this tin is likely somewhere on the bottom half of this stone pillar. Can you stop bouncing? You really can't, can you? But I already have enough to make at least one ingot. I have 21. 20 makes an ingot, so I would have liked more from this area, but I'm not going to complain. The other thing I could do is just visually scan the rest of this this cliffside. I highly doubt I'm going to randomly find more surface tin, because surface tin is pretty unusual to find. It just... The reason I found it is this weird sheer cliff, vertical cliff face, allowed me to sort of scope it. But no. Alright, so let's dig a little bit lower and see if the tin is down here. Because another thing that could happen, not to say that it is happening, is the verified trace amounts that I'm on actually could be the edge of a new vein. I don't think it is, because my density search would have come up with tin as a thing that I could get. Bye-bye, shovel. I'll probably only spend a few more minutes trying to find this, like, fabled tin, and then I'll just pack it up and get the copper I need to make enough tin for the anvil mold. Man, it keeps saying trace amounts, so it's got to be down here somewhere. Because, right, it's reading trace amounts, and I'm, like, at least 6 tiles under. So it's somewhere, like, maybe in here. But given that its trace amounts is just not a lot, so at some point you have to do sort of the risk-effort assessment of finding it. Because I could do a whole lot of digging for like one more tin. And because if it was a bountiful vein, because some of the veins you'll find are like bountiful, and it will yield you tons and tons and tons of resources for every node that you mine. And then sometimes this is really... Oh, there it is. That's probably it. Sometimes it's very not bountiful, and this is quality poor, so I'm basically getting nothing for my effort. So I bet we come up with, like, no amount. That's probably the last of it. No, it still says trace. Okay. 2 more minutes. See if we can find it. So let's try to triangulate it. I like how there's a bit of, like, math and science and engineering into trying to find ores in this game. So still reading his trace amounts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm thinking maybe I'll do a little shaft here. And another thing is, like, once you have wood and you can make ladders rather easily, unlike Minecraft where, like, you're basically told never to dig straight down, you can kind of dig straight down in this game as long as you're building ladders as you go, because you won't fall if you hit like an empty void. You're not going to fall to your death if you are attached to a ladder as you excavate downwards. So it's not necessarily the safest thing, because if you slip off that ladder, you're kind of dead. But you will see a lot of players do, like, vertical pit shafts to try to find ores, because they can just keep backfilling those shafts with ladders and not suffer the death of gravity. Also, yeah, as Dada said, lava's rather uncommon and is only mostly going to be found, like, at the deepest depths of the mantle. So it's not one of these games where you just accidentally happen upon lava commonly. It's very uncommon to find. So there's not a lot of lava risk either. It's mostly fall damage risk. And the game eventually, spoiler, eventually has, I'm not even going to say very much, it eventually offers you an item that helps to mitigate fall damage in a slightly more engineering way than, like, magical wings. So once you have access to that item, your risk of dying to fall damage lessens. Of course, that doesn't necessarily mean you won't die to swarms of really high-powered drifters or something like that when you fall. That's entirely possible too. Man, I keep saying trace amounts. You know what? I'm over my time. I said I was only going to spend a few minutes, and I'm going to live up to that. So I'm going to walk away from that mountain. Keep your secrets. Keep your tin. At this point, I think I'm going to delete the tin waypoint, as there's only really trace amounts of tin left in there. It's not worth a trip, as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to be better off finding subterranean tin elsewhere. Ooh, death caps. Not eating those. Pulled out my knife. I was like, ooh, food. I'm hungry. Well, if I ate a death cap, it would be the last thing I ate today before dying. I'm going to put the red meat away, trying to keep it from spoiling. So, I think what I'll try to do is to just rummage around and grab like berries to feed myself. But let's start. So here we go. The cassiterite is in the crucible. And then what we want to do is we just want to keep adding copper to it. And there will be like a right ratio of it where it will produce tin bronze. So throwing all of my copper in, all 13 stacks, because obviously I want to stretch the amount of cassiterite as I have. So I want to make my bronze mostly as much copper as possible. Right now I can make 7.8 out of the 9, or almost 8/9 of the bronze I need in order for an anvil. So I'm very, very close to the amount that I would need. Meaning that I only really need a little bit more copper because I can stretch the tin out further. So let's do that. So I found some copper over here, and now that I have a prospecting pick, I can be a little bit more complete about the surface nodes of copper, because with the node search mode, it will tell me if I've missed some. So I'm double backing over to the spots that I had already marked as having surface copper. Ooh, is that... I found some grain. I'm gonna make some porridge. This is rye. 6 rye. So I can make... yeah, I'll make a triple batch of porridge. So the current priority right now is make bronze. I'm going to just double check, confirm with you. Should I prioritize the anvil? Yes or no? Is the bronze anvil the first thing I'm going to do with my bronze? I'll probably have enough bronze to do an anvil plus some extra stuff. Like a bronze axe would be nice, or a bronze pick or prospecting pick would be nice. I can also just pour it into the bronze ingots, because once I have ingots, I can heat my ingots back up to then put them on the anvil to mold. Let's pick all those ores back up. I don't have air room at all. Copper, where's my cassiterite? I put that in... Nope. Where'd it go? Is it still... Oh yeah, I see the chunk nugget. Alright. I'll put the torch down. Put the dirt away. I'm having just like inventory storage problems in it. You'll have the opportunity to vote for me to like organize sooner or later. Alright, here's the cassiterite, because I don't want to lose my cassiterite, because that would be really set me back. Alright, let's do some cooking. So, rye and mashed cranberry porridge. I'm going to use up the remaining firewood for it, so that I save space. And then, while that's cooking up... Oh, you know what? I have another chunk of cassiterite that I forgot to hammer. Dude, that's derpy. Okay, so I'm just looking for more copper while that cooks. I just wanted to get the cook on. Food really early on in the game is like a huge constraint until you have, you know, chickens or whatever else, you know, sheep or a large farm. So the reason I mention it is, like, I am on the struggle bus of low-cal, but, like, that's not how it stays forever. So let's see if, I'm going to do a node search here to see if that, like, chunk of copper on the surface was, like, a fluke. Verified medium amounts. Yeah, there's copper down here. I mean, there should be, because if there's surface nodes, there's going to be copper below almost all the time, unless the game, like, bugs out. I just don't know what direction it is. So it's typically, not to like beat a dead horse, but it's typically useful to fork your mine pits. Oh, there we go. Found it. But yeah, it's typically good to fork and then to node search at both ends to know if you're getting hotter or colder. So that's what I did, is I dug this way, and I was starting to dig this way to see if I was getting hotter or colder, because then you can do a node search. And if your node search, because it came up as medium. So if I dug this way, it would come up as small because I was heading away from it. So that's a really good, effective way to, like, triangulate the actual resources that you're trying to find. Unfortunately, this is a poor quality node, so I'm not getting a lot of bang from a buck out of this mining. But whatever, it's next to my base. It's convenient. Can I burn the food? Well, you can burn some food, but I cannot burn the porridge. So some food, like when it's not a meal, like bread, you can leave in a bread oven too long and it will char it. So if you go like bread, you have partly baked bread, you have fully baked bread, and then you have charred bread. Shift H is sort of your survival handbook, so it will tell you everything. So for instance, I'm making porridge. I don't even think it will come up here. It's like porridge isn't a block. But if you look up the cooking tutorials, yeah, some things won't burn. Like stews, soups, porridges, and then some will. Like bread. Yep, G is sit. If I wanted to lower my view, I knew that. Thanks for a reminder. Yeah, if you're trying to, like, look under to see if there's, you know, if you were standing like this and you're trying to look under to see if there was copper down there, it helps to sit down. It's funny, because your character looks funny when they're sitting. They're just, like, hands crossed. Yeah, it's not like PZ food burning, yeah. True. Where, like, everything can burn in Zomboid. Let's see if there's more. So I'm just gonna break this one, do a node search. Trace amounts. So there's still some, but I got the majority of it. You know, I'm not even gonna... I don't care about trace amounts, I don't think. I'm gonna do one more node search over this way. Have I thought about streaming on YouTube as well? I have, and I'm not going to. For bandwidth reasons. I don't have my internet service provider is not going to give me the bandwidth to do it. No ore nearby. So see how I was trying to do the triangulation? Like, no ore that way, or this way. Makes it easy to find. And I gotta say, oh, so rainfall in this area is common. So, like, the thing is, the base what I built, I think is right on the cusp of common and uncommon. So it's like, it's reading as uncommon, but it's barely uncommon, in other words. This rye is so close to the base, I'm just going to let it go to maturity so that I can rely on it as a food source. Oh, and this isn't my base. I live over here. You get struck by lightning? It's never happened to me, so I don't know. I do know that you can make... Oh, shoot. You can make lightning rods in the game? Are you camping my base? Are you... Seriously, Wolf? Seriously? Yeah, how's that feel? Oh, well, now I'm screwed. Can you leave? Alright, let me eat my cranberries. I threw my spear at his head. You know, I'm just gonna get another stick and throw another spear at his head. I'll just make a new spear. Oh, oops, that was a currant bush, not a stick bush. I'll be back, Wolf. It's not over. You're my nemesis now. You're like literally base camping me. Ooh, more currants. I'm gonna make a few spears. So throwing spears are actually really high damaging early in the game. Ooh, black currants too. They do more damage when you throw them, like javelin, than when you thrust with them. So if you're trying to kill something dangerous, like a wolf, it helps to like build yourself a little nerd pole. A nerd pole being like a vertical shaft of like stone or sand or dirt. And then to throw a spear from above so that it can't reach you, but you can reach it. Cheesy, sure, but like, you know, the game's hard. Do what you gotta, especially if it's a bear. However, bears have a much higher reach than wolves do. Wolves, I think, can like get you at 2 or 3 height, whereas like a polar bear can get you at like 5 height or something. So like, depending on your enemy, you might need a higher nerd pole. Ooh, oak seed. Here we go. And let's make some spear tips. And I'm gonna kill that wolf. I could plant berry bushes. The reason I don't plant berry bushes, personal preference, is berries aren't going to be ripe year-round. They never, ever are ripe in the winter. So if you rely on them as a food source, they're a food source that eventually depletes in the season that you need the most. So I usually what I'll do with berries is just harvest them and turn them into jellies and jams. Well, not jellies, but jams. And then... if I don't have enough honey to turn them into jams, I actually will just like eat them raw or let them rot and then turn the rot into compost. Because having a nice amount of compost is pretty sweet too. So I'm gonna run out of space for these spears. But yeah, you could relocate them. I just don't. I don't find it like particularly useful. There we go. I have 3 spears. This door camping wolf is going to die, or I'm going to die. I don't know which. Oh God! Like scratched his back, and that one's too low. Don't mind me, I'm just getting my spear back. Ah! Bad puppy. Oh, it's running for me. It means it's... Oh, nope. Not mortally wounded. Now it's running for me. It means it's mortally wounded. Ooga chugga, ooga chugga. Oh, what? That looked like I went through your head. Die! Tusk, don't watch. Don't watch, girl. Bushmeat. Oh, there's also bone from him. I'm just going to throw some of my granite stone out because I want to get the bone. Because I totally don't already have, like, inventory space problems. But I do already have a stack of bone back at the home. So bones can be crushed into bone meal, which is a good fertilizer. And thrown flint spears are, like, you know, very easy to source. And I can just keep hucking them. Of course, inaccurately. But now we have some bushmeat. So the thing with bushmeat, opposed to red meat, is, here, I'll just leave my spear here. I don't have the inventory space. Bushmeat cannot be made into meals. It's just cooked. Whereas, red meat can be made into meals. So the bushmeat I just grabbed is not going to be useful for meal making. It's just to be, eaten the way it is. Where's the bones? I'm completely out of space. I'm just going to eat some raw grain. Totally normal thing to do, right? I'm going to have some chunky poops. Pull this off, and I'm going to eat it soon enough that I don't really care if it's on the ground. It keeps better in a storage vessel. Well, actually, I have room in the storage vessel, so I'll do that. Thank you for tuning in to Vintage Story, which originally streamed live on Twitch November 9th. If you have any questions for me, please let me know in the comments below. But if you're looking to provide feedback, I'm not looking for backseating for this series. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to keep this series going, make sure to vote for it when it comes up in the polls. The best way to be informed is to join Discord. A link can be found in the description of this video or at Rhadamant.com. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell.